Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where still not a whole lot is happening, but the world tension has skyrocketed. So we'll see how that ends up going. This is going to be very interesting for sure. We don't really know how things are going to proceed from here, so we'll see. We're going to get the Advisory War Council established very, very soon here. And we definitely go into National Security Act. That's guaranteed. Removing consumer goods factories and giving us more factory output and more stability? Yeah, that's really, really good. So there we go. There's that done. We immediately go into the National Security Act. 100%. The question then is, do we grab Army Inventions Directorate for the research slot? Or do we rush Allied Works Council? I think we grab this and then we go down to Allied Works Council. Let's see, that's a research slot there. We do need to be at war to get that, though. Okay. Whereas this one, we can get there by going down this way. So we can do, like, invest in victory, down to rationing and recycling, down to, well, we're going to have to also come down to classify aliens, which will be necessary because we need citizen military forces to get our manpower up a bit. So that'll be fine. We'll get to work on that, and we could definitely do a military doctrine here for our air doctrine. Let's see here. We've got strategic destruction, battlefield support, and operational integrity. Generally speaking, my strategy tends to be more along the lines of battlefield support with close air support, but let's see. Tactical bombers can perform both ground support and regular bombing, and I think that's what we'll work on. So we'll grab force rotation here. Cool. What else can we do for doctrines? We can get a new land doctrine. Now, we're already in Grand Battle Plan. That said, our manpower is precious, bullets are cheap. This is absolutely true. So I think we shift over here to superior firepower. So we're going to do that immediately. And we're going to get a naval doctrine very soon, but we're not ready for that just yet. Now, as far as our research and production here goes, a material designer would not be terrible. Let's see, support unit research speed. I kind of feel like weapons and equipment right now is maybe good. Motorization and artillery. Yeah, I think we're going to go for infantry for the moment. That's fine. We will come back and revisit that later. Basically guaranteed. But for now, that'll do. And there's that naval doctrine. Okay, so we are currently on Fleet in Being. A strong fleet focused on battleships. Well, historically, we know how well that worked out. Also known as not well. We could go with a strong focus on carriers. I've never really done too much with carriers. And honestly, that sounds like fun. Let's do it. We're going to grab base strike and focus on carriers and their support. So we would want to have our navies be set up in, like, carrier groups then. Okay. For now, we're not too concerned about that, but we will tick on forward for the next little while here. The National Security Act is going to be finishing soon, and that will be a big, big boon for us. Now that's spicy. Lithuania declared war on Poland. That's really spicy. They're just not aligned. I wonder how that'll go. That's probably supposed to be, like, part of that whole Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth thing going on. But I feel like Poland probably wins that. Unless somebody intervenes. We'll find out. Soviet-Bulgarian Treaty of Mutual Assistance. The Bulgarian Prime Minister, Georgy Dimitrov, and the Soviet leader Lev Trotsky, pictured here, Stalin, have signed an agreement by which they seek to strengthen the relationship between both countries and promote cooperation in military and economic matters. With this treaty, the Bulgarian government also intends to stimulate trade with the Union of Soviet Republics of Europe and Asia and use Soviet capital to make new industrial investments. They only seek Soviet protection. Indeed. Well, good luck with that, Bulgaria. We are just kind of chilling for the moment. That's part of being a democracy in this time period. Now, we can't go for any non-aligned powers at this point. These guys are considered democratic despite only being 9% democratic, but they have no elections. I'm not sure how democratic they actually are, for the record. British Malaya's up over here, but what I'd be really interested in looking at is, hypothetically, now, these are going to be guaranteed by the US, but hypothetically, I want to see here, for justifying on them, yeah, we need 100% world tension. I just wanted to double check that. Obviously, we're not going to justify on them. That was never going to be a thing that we would do, but that's certainly going to be interesting. But we're going to be going after Japan eventually. Right now is not the time for that, obviously. There's fuel refining finishing up. And next, I definitely want to grab Construction 3. It is a little bit ahead of time, but I think that's fine. We'll go ahead and grab that. Computing machine finishes as well. Oh, Regional Defense Council of Aragon finally fell. Okay. And I think we could certainly grab radio. Radio is a pretty good tech. Let's go ahead and grab that. Cool. We're going to want to work our way through that tech tree as quickly as we can and getting ourselves another, what is it called? Research slot. There we go. Getting another one of those would be great. Yeah, Lithuania is just getting crushed here. I'm not sure why they declared on Poland, if I'm honest. I feel like that was never going to work very well for them. But okay, I guess that's what they want to do. I have questions, and I'm not sure Lithuania has answers. But they're about to fall. The moment their capital falls, I think they capitulate. Especially if this guy's gone, but... okay, yeah, definitely now. There we go. Lithuania was annexed. Cool. Although the struggles between Poland and Lithuania are over, Poland is still at all-out war, and the fighting continues elsewhere. Poland is in other wars? No. No, they are not. Okay. The news article was confused. Got it. Okay, well, Nationalist Spain is going to lose this eventually. Republican Spain will eventually win it. But that's going to be very interesting for them, I'm sure. We are going to be finishing up our National Security Act here in 5 days. And that's fantastic. A political advisor wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea. Honestly, none of these are what I'd really be looking for right now. Oh yeah, I forgot about our intelligence agency. We could create one. That would cost us 5 civilian factories for 30 days. We currently have 6 working here. So I think I'm going to hold off on that for the moment, but we are going to create one eventually. National Security Act does finish up, and we're going to grab the Army Inventions Directorate. And then from there, we'll go into the Civil Construction Corps into Allied Works Council. Cool. Now I want to check to see, yes, that did free up a factory. Fantastic. That's really, really good. So for now, I'm not too concerned about that. We are currently at Dominion, and we're working our way up a little bit. But we're not too concerned about that. We can break free anytime we want, as long as Great Britain doesn't enforce our loyalty, which I've never seen them do. So, that'll be a thing. So we could go for Army Defense, Army Offense, or Army Organization. And we'll probably go for the Organization here. Most likely. There we go. Cool. Yes, we are at low manpower. That's for sure. There's not a lot going on over here. Let's check in on the Spanish Civil War real quick. Ah. They've got them split up into 2 groups now. If they can hold this corridor to the sea open, that's going to be a big deal, especially with this victory point falling. These guys will get wiped. These guys will get wiped, all in short order. And then they can focus out over here in Galicia. So that'll be great for them. Yep, there we go. Well, actually, yeah, these guys are getting wiped out. Republican Spain is going to win that, for sure. Guaranteed 100%. Now, how's that potential war between Japan and the Soviet republics going? They're not going to be done until January of next year. Okay, a little bit of time left there. We'll keep an eye on that. That will have an effect on our plans. But we'll see what ends up happening there. Italy declared war on Yugoslavia. That's not super surprising there. Oh, but France was guaranteeing Yugoslavia? And Czechoslovakia and Romania. Well, that's going to be spicy for Italy. The dawn of the North American Association. It has been theorized that democracies do not go to war with each other, but this does not mean they're guaranteed to aid each other in wars. As political interests are diverse and the people want peace, entering a war often comes at great cost for these nations. However, this has not stopped the United States from announcing today that they have formed a military alliance, the North American Association, to join forces in protecting their people and their ideals. France, the Philippines, and the United States. France is already in a war. Czechoslovakia joined the North American Association. I'm wondering if the North American Association is going to get called into this war against the Pact of Rome. Well, we'll see what happens there. We're not mega concerned about it for the moment, as long as the Allies don't get involved. If the Allies get involved, things could get spicy. Oh my, this is the British Empire at this point. Okay. Yeah, they've gone full fascist. Okay. We're gonna do something about that soon, but we have other problems right now. We're not too concerned about that. The Army Inventions Directorate finishes up. That gives us a free research slot, which is fantastic. And then we're going to grab Civil Construction Corps here. Let's see, what does this actually do? Removes the Great Depression. So we definitely want to come down to here. Yeah. We've got a few things that we want to get done over on this side, for sure. So we're going to grab this research slot, and I think that we will immediately start working on maybe some tanks. Or maybe just cleaning up some of our technology over this way. We could start moving down through the tank lines. We're currently here. Like, amphibious tank chassis is current year technology. So that's definitely something to consider. Let's just grab basic engine in case we need to make tanks later on. It would be good to have some of this researched and good to go. So we'll get that started. That will be absolutely fine. And we do have this Commonwealth research here, which is nice too. Keeping that around is not a terrible concept. Indeed. Not a terrible concept at all. So radio will be done here in 5 days. There's a lot of war going on over here. Sardinia has fallen to France. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and continue to research here. We definitely I would love to move down to improved computing machine. There's no way we're going to get that done. We could go for some of this cleanup over here, but I think instead we're going to go for concentrated industry 3 here. Get that out of the way. Cool. How goes our constructions? We're now at 8 out of 15 of these factories. That's fantastic. We're going to get a bunch more soon. But Civil Construction Corps will modify Great Depression and make that a little bit better. In fact, quite a lot better. It won't be completely gone, but it'll be very close. So that's magnificent. I wouldn't necessarily mind getting a Chief of Navy here. Just naval experience is probably the way to go. Let's go ahead and do that for now. The Japanese shogunate declared war on the Union of Soviet Republics of Europe and Asia. Okay. Well, there they go. We'll see who ends up winning that one. That'll be interesting. If Japan loses that, that could be awkward for us. That could be very, very awkward for us. Do we need Japan to exist to do preemptive intervention? We just need their ruling party to not be democratic. But I'm thinking that we won't be able to do that if they no longer exist. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we do. That'll certainly be interesting. I don't know who's going to win that one. I mean, the Soviet Union is going to have to pull forces from over here, but in theory, they can do that. That should be fine. In theory. Although we do see some Japanese movement up over here, so that looks like that's going to go reasonably well for Japan, for now anyway. We'll see how that goes. As far as the Italian war goes here, I honestly don't think that this is going to go super well for them. We'll see. Oh, okay. There's a Bolivarian alliance. Cool. We don't care about any of that for the moment. We are working on our Civil Construction Corps, and all of that is going to be fantastic. Just modifying the Great Depression is going to be a huge deal for us. So that's very, very good. 6 more days until that's done. Make that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Fantastic. Let's take a look here. 10. Beautiful. 10 factories there. Next, we are going to grab Allied Works Council. So research collaboration, we do need Australian arms production for that. Okay. That's not that big of a deal. Fight, Work, or Perish is very good for us too. So I think here's the plan. We're going to go Allied Works Council, Fight, Work, or Perish, Australian arms production, and research collaboration. We need all 3 of these before we can get this. So I think that's going to be our best order. This will get us 4 civilian factories. And that's going to be huge. I also want to queue up more civilian factories wherever we can. Which, for the moment, is only a few. Fair enough. And we're going to move these guys up over here. Apparently it doesn't want to scroll down to show us the ones in Victoria, but there we go. Construction 3 and Basic Engine finish up. And let's go ahead and grab Excavation 3 so that we can exploit that bauxite. That'll be great. Production efficiency cap is always good too. Let's get that done. This is ahead of time, so I'm not too concerned about that for the moment. But we're going to get this economy as online as we can. It's going to be a little bit rough for us, no doubt about it, but that's okay. So we do want Japan to win this. They've gotten pushed back over here a little bit. Or at the very least, we want Japan to hold this firm. An Anglo-Italian alliance. Now that's spicy. In an unprecedented move, the new British government has distanced itself from their Great War allies in France, and have now instead announced an alliance with the Italians. This brusque shift in allegiance has caused shockwaves throughout the European diplomatic scene, and is especially eyed with suspicion in France and the German Empire, the latter of whom has already been the target of repeated hostile rhetoric from Oswald Mosley. That is some significant British diplomatic maneuvering indeed. So we should sever our ties with the UK basically as soon as possible at this point. We're going to finish up the Allied Works Council. If we switch this, we lose our current progress, but then we're going to sever ties. That said, Britain called us into this fight. And I think we decline. Cool. They may try to enforce loyalty on us. We'll see. I don't know what that actually means. But we're not going to join this. We're not part of this. Cool. Allied Works Council will be done in 40 days here. And then we're going to sever ties. That's for sure. Britain being here really does change the calculus of this war, though. That's for sure. Funnily enough, there's only one member of the Pact of Rome left. Italy joined the Allies. Nationalist Spain finally fell. With extensive Soviet aid, the Second Republic has finally defeated their anarchist and nationalist enemies and secured full control over Spain. Though isolated pockets of nationalist troops continue to wage a guerrilla war that may well hamper the exertion of local Republican control in previously nationalist areas, it is unlikely further coordinated resistance of any significance will materialize. As the nation focuses on rebuilding its war-torn cities and industry, Soviet pressure on the nation is mounting, and it remains to be seen whether the democratic Spanish government can remain true to its democratic principles, or whether it will simply become an outpost of Moscow's influence in Western Europe. The Soviet influence over Spain is concerning. The Japanese shogunate has joined the Pact of Rome. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. There's some wacky factions going on here. Okay, I'm not quite sure what to make of those. But we are not going to fight. Not for the moment. We're definitely not ready for that. The Kingdom of Romania joined the Fourth International, and the Kingdom of Hungary has capitulated to the Kingdom of Romania. Now, Romania joining the Fourth International means that they are in a faction with the Soviets. Okay. This is going to get big. This is going to blow up hard. Yugoslavia has joined the Fourth International now, which now means that the Allies are fighting the Fourth International. And the North American Association, perhaps. Is France in this war at this point? I feel like they were at one point. Yes. This is gonna blow up big. Okay. Well, that's spicy. For sure. What is... Oh, the U.S. is fighting Unitary Canada. Right, Canada would be an ally right now. And the U.S. is the North American Association, who is technically at war with the Allies. So the U.S. is currently fighting Canada. Okay. That's going to get very, very weird. Cool. I want to check in on the U.S.'s... okay, the U.S. is very, very democratic. Cool. I mean, this whole Republican Party ideology, democratic thing is a little bit confusing to modernize, but it makes sense. I like it. So, they're remaining democratic, and that is good for us. We definitely want that. Okay, Germany is currently making moves against Poland, and Zog of Albania has submitted to Italy. Okay. Apparently we're friends with Benito Mussolini. Sure. Unitary Canada has declared its independence and then joined the Allies. I'm not sure what the point behind that was, but sure. The British Empire is trying to call us to arms again. We are still going to decline. We are not participating in this one. That's for sure. We want to create our own faction. Thank you very much. And we can definitely continue to modify our government, getting ourselves... air safety, huh? Versus air reformer? Accidents would be good. But this is more experience. And that's what we're mostly interested in right now, is the experience. Now, we're going to be able to exploit bauxite deposits soon. But we do need to wait for some research to finish up here. Excavation 3. The Mexican Socialist Republic declared war on the British Empire. Okay. Things are getting real weird. There's no doubt about that. Really, 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 really weird. So that was a Bolivarian alliance there. The fall of Gibraltar. So that's back in Spanish hands. What faction is Spain? Oh, Spain is in the 4th International. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so they took back Gibraltar. There's Allied Works Council. Done. Beautiful. Next up, we are going to definitely sever ties with the UK. Fantastic. And with that, things are getting really weird, but it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to go independent in this really weird world. That's going to be interesting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.